SS and Co TV.
What it do, my people? I'm Sean Devine, and in this one, we got Bo Mayo.
I don't give a fuck if it's for a day.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to go to jail.
So
talk about jail. Would you ever see yourself going back?
Never.
I don't even want to ask you that question. Last time we
Never.
talked about a nigga like that, he went to jail the next day. I'm dead serious. I'm lying.
25 Metropolitan Detention Center inmates, their associates, and a former correction officer charged in a dozen criminal cases at the federal jail in Brooklyn. Charges include a range of violent assaults and contraband smuggling, and a continued effort by law enforcement to combat crime inside the prison. Today, the United States Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of New York announced criminal charges against 25 defendants in 12 separate cases relating to violence and contraband smuggling at the Metropolitan Detention Center, MDC Brooklyn, and Sunset Park, Brooklyn. These include charges against 15 inmates for violent assaults against other inmates from May 2024 to the present, a former correction officer for attempting to smuggle contraband into the facility on January 21st, 2025, an inmate for orchestrating a contraband smuggling operation between April and June of 2024, an inmate for smuggling ceramic scalpels in the facility on October 12, 2024, an inmate for possession of contraband and continuing to commit fraud while detained at MDC Brooklyn, and an MS-13 gang associate for attempting to smuggle a large package of contraband, including 18 cell phones and marijuana, to other M13 gang members incarcerated at MDC. It's going down, and they got everybody over there at MDC. They got the guy Luigi accused of allegedly assassinating the healthcare CEO. They got P. Diddy, Tekashi 6ix9ine, and Tax Stone was recently shipped out for being part of this investigation that they had going. He was charged and is facing an additional 10 years on top of the 30 years that he was sentenced to already. Now, we got to keep in mind how filthy of a place jail or prison could be. And whenever there's any type of riots or the prison has to be shut down, then all the inmates are held accountable. Even if you're going back and forth to court, fighting your case, staying out the way, you still will be held accountable for other inmates' actions when they lock down the whole jail and you have to sit in your cell as if you're in solitary confinement. They may take phones away, certain privileges that the inmates have, such as commissary, barbershop. We got to take all these things into consideration when a guy is incarcerated.
How many niggas you would try to do it your way?
What? I don't regret nothing in my life.
Listen, what I'm saying, but how many niggas you would tell, if you had a room of 100 niggas, you'd tell 100 niggas?
Don't say 100 niggas. If you had a room of 100 kids.
Kids. You had a room of 100 kids, you would tell them to do it your way, and you think they come out the same way that you came out?
Because you know 9 times out of 10, they not coming out the other end the way you
because jail
did.
is a mental institution more than physical. It's a mental beat down. It ain't like jail, yeah, you get this, but it's a mental fuck up. Like I even like I start catching anxiety attacks in jail because of the gates. Like every time, like you sleeping, chow town. Now you jumping up and shit. So like they heavy up before the guards come slam the fucking gates on you, but it sound like gunshots. Know what I'm saying? It sound pop, 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 pop. Everybody running out like dogs. So it's more of a mental shit because guards, jail make you crazy though. Like, know what I'm saying? Jail make niggas smarter, but at the same time it make you kind of crazy because your bitches forget about you. A lot of shit start happening to you, so you feel like motherfuckers owe you something. Then you feel like, damn, how they did that to me? Like, know what I'm saying? So you be holding grudges.
Too much time to think.
Like, yo, hold up, I was that nigga out there. No fucking body coming to see me 2 years. Bitches talking to me crazy. Nobody answer the phone. Know what I'm saying? So that shit, you start thinking that everybody in jail going through the same exact shit. Know what I'm saying? Like, I remember when I went up and a nigga, I was actually about to fight the dude because he told me, boy, your girl out there fucking, right? So I'm like, yo, boy. So I'm ready to fuck the nigga up because I'm like, yo, boy, oh, you saying that because your bitch fucking. But he was already up top for a couple of years. He like, boy, I'm telling you she fucking. You gonna see. No. You start seeing a change of attitude. Now the nigga telling me how the shit gonna be. I'm like, nah, my bitch ain't fucking. I know she ain't fucking. Whole time the bitch living with the nigga. He probably fucking when I'm calling. Now, when a bitch ain't putting you first priority when you in jail, cause when you first go to jail, a bitch will put the nigga before their kids. That's how it is. Oh, I gotta go make sure this. Once that money slow down and them phone calls ain't picked up all the time, you know what's up. And then when you say something, a certain thing, and she be like, what? Who you talking to like that? You like, bitch, who you talking to? Oh, nah, this bitch fucking. You already know the whole attitude change. So I watch everybody go through that same shit, and that shit make you cold towards females when you come home.
Those were some harsh realities that Bo Mayo had to recall. The cell slamming sounded like gunshots, people switching up on you, thoughts of your lady, being intimate with others, not to mention being unaware of empires that guys are creating that you're unaware of and still have to be held accountable for. The game ain't based off sympathy.
From inmates getting into bloody fights to a correctional officer accused of smuggling in drugs. The Justice Department announced a dozen new criminal cases today, all related to activity inside a federal jail in Brooklyn. And as investigative reporter Tim McNicholas reports, it's all happening in the same facility housing two high-profile inmates.
Prosecutors say this February 22nd fight sent 5 inmates to the hospital, one of them with 18 stab wounds. Security cameras captured inmates in the melee holding sharp weapons, including this one, which is about a foot long. The U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of New York is charging 6 inmates for the fight. It's one of 12 separate cases the Justice Department unveiled Thursday, all involving the Metropolitan Detention Center in Sunset Park. In another case announced Thursday, prosecutors said staff discovered a package on the roof of the jail containing 18 cellular telephones, approximately 345 grams of marijuana, and a liter of drinking alcohol. Investigators believe MS-13 gang members in the jail used a smuggled phone to communicate about the package with a man who was arrested in Minnesota this week. The Justice Department also says in another case, a correctional officer at the jail got caught trying to smuggle in vacuum-sealed bags of marijuana and cigarettes. He resigned from the Bureau of Prisons 2 days later and is now facing charges. The agency released a statement Thursday saying in part, the Federal Bureau of Prisons would like to thank the FBI and the Eastern District of New York for their partnership and support to further prevent and prosecute violence and contraband in our facilities.
And Tim, tell us more, because this is not the first time prosecutors have looked into this facility, is it?
That's exactly right. You know, back in the fall, just a few months ago, the Justice Department charged 9 inmates for violence and contraband. And Christine, that included charges for murder and attempted murder.
We mentioned in the introduction to your report that there are 2 high-profile people at this facility.
Yep.
Tell us, remind us, our viewers, who's now being housed there.
So that is where both Sean Diddy Combs and Luigi Mangione are being held. So there's been a lot of interest recently from people, a lot of attention on that facility from people wondering what life might be like for them inside those walls.
Absolutely. All right, Tim, thank you. We appreciate it.
Another incident that also took place over at MDC was the incident with the 2 inmates convicted of killing Jam Master Jay. They had a situation at the Metropolitan Detention Center as well.
The man convicted of murdering Run DMC's Jam Master Jay was stabbed at a Metropolitan Detention Center. Carl Jordan was attacked during a fight with several inmates back on Sunday at the federal jail in Sunset Park, Brooklyn. That's the same facility where Sean Combs and Luigi Mangione are currently being held. Jordan and a second man, Ronald Washington, are awaiting sentencing after they were convicted last year in the murder of Jam Master Jay, whose real name was Jason Mizell. They were convicted back in 2002.
Salute to Cloud9 TV. The link for the entire interview will be down below in the description. It was definitely entertaining and some gems hitting all throughout the interview. So as we could see, There's sometimes when we put ourselves in situations, the environment around us can affect us in more ways than one, mentally, physically, and spiritually. I'm Sean Devine. Like, comment, subscribe if you appreciate the content. Salute.
What advice would you give a young man? What kind of business should he get himself into, or what should he do? What direction he should go in?
First of all, when you in jail, you should already have goals. Like everything that I said I was gonna do when I came home, I actually did it. Like I actually sat there and said, yo, when I come home, I'm gonna do this and that and the third. So I had a plan. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have a plan. You gotta come home focused. You know what I'm saying? So, nigga, if you gotta get you a fucking job, go get you a job. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be afraid of that.
SS and Co TV.
SS and Co TV, the channel for your eyes and your ears.